Hi dears, we are going to see Unit 5. Unit 5 is about the population. What is population? Population means a large group of people who live in a particular geographic area. For example, if you take a geographic area, that is say Tamil Nadu. Okay, large group of people who live in this geographic area. Okay, the large group of people who live in geographic area, for example, in Tamil Nadu, geography Tamil Nadu is known as a population. In general, we talk like this only. In general, we see this is what we population means. But actually, what the population means, we'll see. Population is something more than that. Okay, it's not the simple meaning. This what we see in the normal life, normal what to say. That is not. It is a bit more than that. So in statistics, population has a much broader meaning. It's not a simple meaning, it has some broader meaning in statistics. It is not only refer to the people, but it also refers to the group of elements. It may be group of elements. So if you see a periodic table, that can be also considered as the population. Units under consideration, okay, by the analyst. In short, you can say units under consideration by the analyst. So whatever we want to analyze something, the unit we are considering, whatever, for example, if I want to study about India, right, about the culture, then the complete unit will be my whole of India. So that is the one of the example of the population. Or if you are in school, if I want to see that particular school, how this school is performing better than other school, that particular school becomes my population. This population is a collection or group of individuals. In general, what we can say, population can be considered as is the collection of collection we can say, or group we can say. So population is nothing but the collection, or we can say it is a group of individuals, or it not only individuals, it can be some items also, or it may be some units also, it may be some observations also. Suppose the marks of the students, right? Observation under study is known as a population. For example, collection of books, it may be collection of books. Books in the library, our CUTN library, you can say, right? Particles in the salt bag, rivers in India, okay, whatever it is. Our students in our classroom also can be considered as a population. So the total number of units, now we are going to study about the population size. What is the population size? The total number of elements I can say items, units, observations, okay, in a population is known as population size. Okay, and is denoted by capital N. Okay, for example, if I want to students in our class. Okay, how many students are there? Suppose there are 48 students. Okay, 8th semester. How many students are there? 48 students. I'm going to study about this 48 students only. So the population will be 48. Okay, the total number of elements becomes a 48. So the characteristics under study may be denoted as denoted by, we can say, instead of as, X or Y. Suppose I'm going to study about the achievement scores. Okay, that is I'm going to study about the achievement scores. Then my X will be achievement scores. What is my X? Achievement scores. Okay. So this is all about the population characteristics and all. Population is of two types. One is finite, another is infinite. So population is of two types. One is finite population, another is infinite population. The population contains finite number of observations or units. This population contains, I'm talking about the population. Okay, the population contains finite number of units. Units, I can call it as observations also, right? It's a finite population. For example, population of students in a class. The previous example, like I told you now, number of students in 8th semester, 48 students in the 8th semester. So number of students in our class is 48, which is finite number. Therefore, it is example of it's example of finite population. And also, how many units manufactured in some factory. So number of bulbs manufactured in certain factory, or number of books in our CUTN library, all these are examples of the finite population. The population contains infinite number of units. Or observations. It is said to be infinite population. For example, population of particles in salt bag. It's infinite, no? It's the population of stars, how many hairs in human body. These are the examples of the infinite population. Because it's not finite. Is number of units, the number of units in the population is not finite, and these are the example of infinite population. Okay, population is too large in size are assumed in statistics, no? Too large in size. It's not our mathematical infinitive, right? Our mathematical infinitive is a bit different from our statistics infinitive. Too large also we call it as infinite population, right? Now, real and hypothetical population. So population can be divided into like this also. Population we can also divide into different types. One is according to the number. Another is real and hypothetical. Some population is known as real population, something is known as hypothetical population. The population can be classified as real and hypothetical. A population comprising the items or units which all are physically present is known as the real population. For example, number of students in our class. The students in our class is real. They are present, physically present. So this is example of the real population. The students in our class. No, that is also an example of the real population. It's also example for finite population also, right? A population comprising of units which are all physically present, right? Which is not physically present, but existence of them can be imagined. It's not physically present. Here you can say physically present and not physically present. Like this we can classify. Okay, not physically present. Here we took students in our class. That is real, no? Students in our class, which is real. They are physically present. Here, hypothetical means which are not physically present, imagined. Imagined one. What do you call about the imagined one? For example, if you toss the coin 200 times, okay, and the population of heads or tails in successive tosses of a coin a large number of times. For example, if you toss the coin for 1000 number of times, so these many times you are tossing the coin. So this is hypothetical population which is not physically present. So these are the examples of the, but in statistics both plays very important role, whether it is real or hypothetical, right? Population based on the number, we can call it as finite and infinite. Population based on the subject, we can classify as real and hypothetical. Now we go to the sample. What is a sample? We are having a population, right? A small unit of population which under study is known as the sample. We have seen in the unit 1, it is difficult to study about the population, right? Because lot of cost and so many things are involved if you take about the population. Sometimes it becomes impossible also. So it is better to study about the sample, easy to study about the sample. Because sample is small, to some extent we are going to study completely, right? But in the population it is very large and it becomes sometimes next to impossible sometimes, and cost also involved in that matter. So the exact information from all the elements or units or item of a large population may be in general time consuming. So if you want to talk about the study about the population, it is time consuming and also expensive, because you have to study, for example, whole of India, you want to study each and every part of India, it becomes very expensive and of course it is difficult. So, and also if the element of unit of population are destroyed under the investigation, then gathering the information from all the unit does not make a sense. For example, you want to study about something about a village. There are certain things it's not available, right? It's not, data may not be available. So then it becomes difficult to study about the whole of population. To test the strength of the chalk, okay, to test the quality of crackers. Can you burn all the crackers and test it? No. Then how you will sell, right? It becomes difficult, right? So in such a situation, quality of chalk means you keep writing, all chalk will be over. Then how you check the quality? What is the use of checking the quality? So that means you have to see the sample and conclude it. In such a situation, small part of the population we are going to take, and that is known as the sample. Subset, universal set and subset, you can say. In normal set theory, universal set, you can call it as universal set. You can call it as a subset. A subset of the universal set is known as the sample. A sample is a part, fraction, subset of the population. The procedure of drawing a sample from the population is called sampling. Just like that, you cannot take a sample. There is a procedure for selecting the sample. That is known as the sampling. You have to do statistically, scientifically. The sample has to be selected statistically and scientifically. The procedure, we have to follow certain procedures in order to select